Canine Communication, written by the Centre of Excellence, narrated by Brian Grayson. Hello and welcome to the Centre of Excellence Canine Communication course. This learning experience is absolutely wonderful for anyone that lives with, works with or wants to understand more about dogs. Dogs have been our friends for many thousands of years. They help us work, they hunt with us, and we have to ask the question about whether we would have survived as a species without their endless help. Despite thousands of years of varying friendships and partnerships, we still struggle to communicate with dogs in a way that they understand. We often force our own specific style of communication onto dogs, or follow advice given by people who actually have it wrong anyway. We don't really listen enough. This course is going to teach you how to listen to dogs more effectively. It will also dispel the myths about canine communication and bring you up to date with all of the scientific findings that establish exactly what dogs are saying to us. It is a great course filled with plenty of information from the most recent studies and findings that will have you truly understanding your dog or dogs, whilst learning to communicate perfectly with any canine you meet. Unit 1. The Dog. Unit 1 of this course explains the dog and what we know about the way he perceives the world around him. The objective of this first unit is to fully equip the student in canine understanding with the focus on successful communication. Dogs are amazing creatures. They have learned to be around people to their own advantage, and they are obviously completely bonded with the human race. We have partly created and forged our bond with the canine species by taking them in and building working partnerships with them over many generations. But before we move on, let's take a look at man's best friend, the ever-faithful dog, and when he became so close to our own species. It has been believed to this point that dogs evolved from the ancestor of wolves, and whilst wolves moved out of the areas that humans occupied, the bolder dogs moved in and around human settlements because of the easy availability of food scraps. The most recent research and findings on how dogs became our close friends is part of a study from varying schools of thought. The theories state that it's likely that dogs and people first began to bond 15,000 years ago, and by 14,000 years ago, dogs were being buried in graves after they die, sometimes along with people. The New York Times recently published information on a groundbreaking study of where and how dogs became dogs, along with where they came from. The study involves DNA and historical findings.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?